Welcome to the Forensics Unplugged channel. Behind me you can see the inner workings of a madman. What are we doing? We've just been doing our single stage abrasive testing. So here you can see this lineup of products. G3 Premium, Turtle Wax, One and Done, Geon Compound, Perfect Finish from Sonax, Svisa MC Hammer, MC3000 medium cut, one step, Koch Chemi F6 fine cut, Carpro Fixer, Rupes, what's that say, Quartz gloss medium, the green one, Shoal S20 black, Menzerna medium cut 2500, Angel Wax Regenerate, Maguire's Ultimate Compound, Autoglim UHD polishing compound, it's a new product that is, and a partridge in a pear tree. So that's 13 single stage abrasives from brands that are all over this giant rock we call an earth. I'm trying to be too clever, John. So from all around the world. What are we doing? Well, we have this new phenomenal test thing. Look at this test plate, it's going to come in so useful. Big test plate sprayed up with automotive paint, soft, always is, and across here we have a strip of P1000 sanding marks, P2000, P3000, and then up here we have a section where there was no sanding marks, so we're just trying to gloss it out. On the bottom sections of sanding marks, we used Flex purple pads, you know, medium cutting pads if you want. We put 3 dots on the pads. We worked up and down for 45 seconds on speed 5 using 3-inch mini DA with consistent down pressure and arm speed. Just trying to do the same thing on each set, which is very important, and that's a big variable. All those things can affect your rate of cut, especially downward pressure and machine speed, so we try and set everything the same. Work our way along, do that. We put on orange pads as well, and then use the products on speed 4.5, just a bit slower, for 1 minute, just to make sure we definitely get the full breakdown, and then we repeat that process all along there. And we do a final degrease wipe down with Built Hamber. We're going through tons of cloths doing this so that we're trying to avoid not cross-contaminating, but we do a final degrease wipe down so we get any polishing oils so we can see the true results. Now, this test on the best single stage pure abrasive, they must be a single stage pure abrasive. People are going to say, John, you've not put this product in the test, and they're going to tell me a product and it's going to have a wax in it and it's going to be an AOI, which is not what I'm testing. So I just wanted to get that out there first. Pure abrasive, so what you see is what you get after we've degreased. And no, these products don't have any fillers in them. So whenever you mention an abrasive, if I mention a Koch abrasive, oh, that's got fillers in it. If I mention a Sonax abrasive, that's got fillers in it. If I mention any abrasive, that's got fillers in it. None of them have got fillers in it, but they all fill to a certain extent, won't they? And that's a saying that's been kicking around for a long time. It's not something I've made up. Because the oils and the carriers will fill. So you have to degrease. Now let's just have a look. Now, the main things I'm going to be marking on in this test are cut and finish. So 2 different things, cut and finish, and price, because these products are supposed to cut defects and deliver you a high level of finish. Now, let's just keep something simple. No, nothing can win this test if it doesn't finish well. So the finish is going to be critically important, even more so than the cut. Because the cut, when you're using microscopic abrasives that are, you know, particle sizes of sub-micron or whatever they are, you know, they'll vary. And the technologies can vary, whether DAT or SMAT or whatever they're using. You know, you get some abrasives that are shaped like a boomerang, some that are shaped like a golf ball or whatever. some that are clumped together, some that are like rotor blades. Whatever the abrasive technology, we're interested in how they finish down. If it doesn't finish well on this soft paint, there's no way I can have it winning this test. So that's going to be a very good thing. Cut is a little bit less important because you can increase cut by pressure, your machine speed, all those sorts of things. So cut is less important, although we're still measuring it. Get on with this. You can see it's a live video. Price is very important as well. Abrasives are becoming expensive. There's a big variance in price where I think this is the cheapest product in the test. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's about, I think it's about £20, something like that. No, it might be less. Whatever, I think that's the cheapest in the test. We're going to compare all the prices, and what I'll do is compare prices. I'll do price per litre of smallest retail offering size, or even that's going to create a problem straight away because they've got these like little mini sample bottles which are tiny. That's going to create a disadvantage. So I'll probably do price per litre for nearest 500ml offering size. That's what we'll probably do. And then we'll probably do price per litre for nearest 5 litre. Oh, no, we won't do that. We'll do price per litre for nearest litre offering size because a litre of polish is quite a lot. Only the real hardcore guys will be buying 5 litres of abrasives, perhaps. Maybe not that hardcore. Don't know. I'll think about all the pricing, and we'll come up with an average between those two pricing to give us a value thing. Now I'm going to give you a little sneak preview on finishing. And I've gone through with the gloss meter and measured all these because the gloss meter can pick up things that your eyes cannot pick up. Very lucky to have this gloss meter, because it allows us to test these abrasives. There is no better gloss meter than the Row-Point IQ, this thing here. So it allows us to test it more accurately than even most of the brands can test to. So we're very lucky to have this bit of kit. And it allows us to do a bloody good job of testing. Now, there is limitations just testing once. You should really repeat everything, because this is just one panel. You should perhaps have another panel, one with different clear coat types, hard clear coat, soft clear coat, even different colours maybe underneath, just to see, you know, it doesn't really affect it, but just to see what you see on different colours. But black is obviously the mecca. Yeah, so let's have a look at the finish. Now, obviously you need light as well. Now, hopefully you can see this. The G3, can you see there's a bit of marring in there? It's got a good amount of cut on it, I'll tell you that now. The Turtle Wax product is a bit clearer with less marring, but that's not a perfect finish with the Turtle Wax. There's a bit of marring there, and there's a bit of haze as well. Then we move over to the Geon product, and that's one of the worst finishes in the test. It's this strip of haze, and it's not product, by the way. This has been degreased, and there's machine marring in there as well, so it hasn't finished down properly. The Geon compound. So that's just in this test, by the way, which is something we'll talk about later on. Then we go over here, and this is the Sonax Perfect Finish. This is the first one where it's got a really cracking finish on it, which is an acceptable level of finish. Next we go over to the Zvisa MC300, is it? MC3000, one step, cracking finish. Koch F6, cracking finish, brilliant. Carpro, just like the Geon, just is a very hazy, poor finish with this particular test of 1 minute on a soft pad. It will not deliver a good finish. Sonax, Zvisa, Koch, good finish. Carpro, bad finish. Then we go on to the Rupes green quartz gloss compound, their medium compound. Brilliant finish, lovely, really nice and dark. Shoal S20, brilliant. Menzerna, brilliant. Angel Wax, brilliant. Then Maguire's Ultimate Compound, hazing and compound marring. And Auto Glim hazing. There's some hologramming as well, can you see that? It's the only one that's hologrammed. Cuts really well. Blasted through some of the sanding marks, but that's quite an aggressive compound, that is. So yeah, we're also using them with neutral pads. So flex pads are neutral. So if I was using Rupes pads, then the Rupes compound would have an advantage, wouldn't it? And we're using the built hamber cleanser fluid, so we're not giving any products any advantages, hopefully. So where I am with this at the moment, I've got my gloss data and haze data. So I have, from you can guess where I'm going with this. I have 3 products here: Sonax, Perfect Finish, Ziza and Koch, and then 4 products here: Rupes, Shoal, Menzerna, Angel Wax, that have all done well in the finishing department, which is a critical test. So the winner's going to have to come from one of those. It might not be, they're so close, those ones, that they've all done really well, but the Gonio photometer has separated them. But then we're going to factor in price, then we're going to factor in cut, and then what we're going to do, as well as just those lab style tests, as always, I've been using these products, but I'm going to, let's just talk about where I am with these. I know this product reasonably well. I've gone through probably half a bottle of it, something like that, I don't know. Tested it before, reviewed it before. This is a brand new bottle. This one I've done half a car with for a review, so I don't know it that well, but I know it well enough. This is the second one of those I've gone through. This is the second one of those I've gone through, so I know this stuff pretty well. That I've done a review on. Don't know it that well. You never know it that well until you've gone through litres of the stuff, but know it well enough. Good stuff, that is. F6 I know it really well. This is a new bottle, but I've gone through that before. Carpro Fix I don't know. It's the first one that I don't really know at all, really. This Rupes product I don't know. This I know really well. That I know reasonably well. That I don't know. This I've used before, but it's been a long time, and I think this maybe is an updated formula. And this is brand new as well. So really, actually, it's these ones really, these 4 I need to get a bit more time with, panel time with, use them a bit more to try and see if I've made any, if there's things that I need to learn about them that I've missed in this basic testing on here. Using them set after set after set when you're just polishing as well, you learn a bit more about whether they dust and stuff like that. The 4th thing I want to mark them on is how nice they are to use and buff, especially when you do a set on a car and really work the hell out of them. You can see what they're like to buff then as well. This is good because it tells me what they're like on soft sticky clear coat, but I'm not overworking the products, and I like to overwork them. When you overwork products as well, especially with soft pads, you heat up those compounds, you can leave the deposits on the panel, which is one thing I want to check for, because there's nothing worse, excuse me, there's nothing worse than leaving the deposits on the panel and you're buffing it and you can't get off the panel, and you have to soak it, panel wipe, and buff the crap out of it. Start buffing it more aggressively when you're finishing out paint, because you want to handle the paint nice and gently and just buff the glossy paint off gently, so you're not putting any fine marring in. So that's a very important thing. So we need to capture that in the test as well. Once we've captured that ease of use, price, cut and finish, we're there. It's probably risky for me to single out those 7 products, isn't it? But because sometimes you can get some surprises. But so far, those there and that one. Most of these ones that are doing well are the German abrasives, German engineering. Very good, isn't it? And their chemical engineering is very good. But we've got 2 that have managed to break into the pack of finishing, the Angel Wax and the Rupes. The Rupes is an interesting one. It's really thin, loose, watery abrasive. So watery, so thin. It annoyed me because it flicks everywhere when you're doing this. And when I've used it a couple of times, not just on this panel, and it's so thin, you almost think that it's not really doing much, but the results are really good, and it finished down really good as well. It's good. So the winner is probably going to be the one that also delivers a good level of cut and perhaps offers the most value and is really nice to use. Really nice to use. I'm looking at them as now, I'm thinking ahead. Thinking ahead, that's a bit of an unknown, this one for me. I'm thinking that these two products here, I know them well, and they can leave deposits down. Sonax Perfect Finish, when it's going well and it's working, it's phenomenal. But with softer pads, it can cake up a little bit sometimes. When it cakes up, it can be a right pain. But it's a very good product. But this can bed down as well. This is a brand new bottle, so maybe they've changed it. But my old bottle, that was probably about 3 or 4 years old, when I used that and reviewed it, that could bed down. So interesting. I can't really use that bias, can I? Or is it unfair to use that bias that I've used them before in the past outside of this test, so I know certain things? So it makes it a little bit unfair if I use that, but it also makes it realer, doesn't it? More real. So there's that. Yeah, but so far, that didn't cut quite as much. Looking at the sanding marks, which is interesting. So yeah, it's really interesting. These two products here have very little flaws in them at all. So good. Nice buff on them, nice and oily. Really, really good. Which one's going to win out of these? The Menzerner. He's not going to win, but I'm just looking at the Menzerner. It might win, but I wasn't saying it's going to win. But the Menzerner, they always surprise me because they're a little bit cheaper than the Shoal and the Koch, and they're always decent. Very good. You could just argue just as good for a little bit less. So Menzerner could be in with a shout. Yeah, it's going to come down to which ones are less of a pain to work with for me, and it might come down to cut. So if any of them dust up a little bit more prematurely than the others, that will rule them out, or if they don't deliver the cut. So there we are. Let me know what you think about all this abrasive testing. This video will be coming along. It will be on its way, winging its way to a channel near you soon. Look at these as well. I'll show you these in another video. Aren't they good? I've got some more coming. That's it for now, guys. So give it a few more weeks and we'll get the best car polish video done and dusted. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.